The year was 2016, and Dr. Alana Fric had accomplished her dream of becoming a doctor, wife, and mother. To the world, her life was perfect, but was it really? Welcome back to Crime or Mystery, where we cover crimes, mysteries, and everything in between. Born in 1977 in Windsor, Canada, to Croatian immigrant parents, Josip and Alana Fric, Elena was raised in the town of Tecumseh, where she attended St. Peter Elementary and St. Anne High School. She excelled in school, her mind a sponge for knowledge. Elena's passion for helping others led her to medicine. She pursued her post-secondary studies at the University of Ottawa, graduating with a doctorate of medicine in 2003. She thrived in the challenging environment. Her friends marveled at her dedication, and her professors recognized her talent. The future seemed limitless for this young woman, poised to make her mark on the world. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The path to success is rarely linear, often marred by unforeseen detours. For Elena, this detour came in the form of a charming, charismatic doctor, Mohammed Shamji, the man who would forever alter the course of her life and her untimely death. The halls of Toronto General Hospital buzzed with the energy of ambitious young medical professionals, each one driven by a passion to heal and innovate. It was here that Elena would complete her family medicine residency in 2006. But during that residency, in 2003, Elena's path crossed with Dr. Mohammed Shamji's. He was a rising star in neurosurgery and the son of esteemed thoracic surgeon Dr. Farid Shamji. Hailing from a wealthy and distinguished family in Ottawa, he had the privilege of attending the nation's top schools and was regarded as a medical prodigy. Elena, drawn to his intellect, wit, and background, saw in him a kindred spirit, someone who understood the demands and sacrifices of their chosen profession. Their initial encounters were filled with the excitement of a budding romance. Late-night study sessions turned into intimate dinners, where they shared dreams and aspirations. Despite her growing feelings, she occasionally questioned her worthiness. Their relationship, however, was far from ideal, and amidst the whirlwind courtship, subtle red flags began to emerge, casting shadows on their seemingly perfect relationship. Elena was fully committed, but Mohammed's actions frequently left her disheartened. He missed her medical school graduation, claiming illness, only for Elena to later learn he had been out with friends. Furthermore, he was unfaithful, having been involved with another woman from his university days. Even with these warning signs, Mohammed's charm and persistence persuaded Elena to remain in the relationship, even after she attempted to end it twice. In April 2004, Elena introduced Mohammed to her parents, but they were not impressed, perceiving him as distant and uninterested in engaging with them. Elena's father, Josip, even advised her not to settle for someone like Mohammed, believing she deserved better. Shortly after, Elena discovered she was pregnant, which put Mohammed in a dilemma, as his Muslim parents would be outraged by an out-of-wedlock child and his choice to marry outside their faith. Weighing his options, Mohammed concluded that marriage was the best solution, and together he and Elena began planning 2 weddings, one to honor his family's traditions and another for hers. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted, a nagging feeling, perhaps her intuition, that something was amiss. Despite the misgivings, the whirlwind romance culminated in a lavish traditional Muslim wedding on September 1, 2004, while Elena was 5 months pregnant. The ceremony was a grand affair among the couple's friends and families, successfully masking the underlying tensions. In preparation for their second wedding ceremony to honor Elena's traditions, the couple was required to attend several counseling sessions. However, Mohammed refused to participate and asked their mutual friend John Mark to attend in his place. When John declined, the sessions were skipped altogether. Even with Mohammed's indifference and lack of effort, the couple went ahead with their second wedding ceremony at St. Francis of Assisi Church in Windsor. Shortly thereafter, they purchased a home in Ottawa and relocated. Elena began working as a family doctor at the Ottawa Hospital, while Mohammed continued his residency in neurosurgery. In January 2005, following a difficult pregnancy, Alana gave birth to a daughter, bringing her immense joy. However, Mohammed seemed distant and disengaged. He prioritized his career and had minimal interaction with Alana or their baby. Tensions escalated during a visit from Mohammed's family shortly after the birth. Alana, who was breastfeeding upstairs, did not come down to greet them, which infuriated Mohammed. He reprimanded her for not welcoming guests, insisting it was her responsibility to do so as a matter of respect. Behind the facade of the perfect marriage, a sinister truth festered. The arguments began to surface, revealing cracks in their seemingly perfect life. Over time, Mohammed's controlling behavior intensified, leading to unprovoked outbursts of anger, while Alana hid the truth from friends and family. Mohammed openly criticized her appearance, mocked her weight gain, and belittled even her cooking skills. A month after the birth, tensions peaked when Mohammed, in a panic, called Alana's parents, falsely claiming she wanted a divorce. Alana quickly reassured her parents that everything was fine before ending the call. Shortly after, while her parents were preparing for church one Sunday, they received a missed call from Alana's home. When they called back, they overheard a heated argument and were shocked by Mohammed's furious insults directed at Alana. In spring 2005, Mohammed was accepted into a prestigious PhD program in biomedical engineering at Duke University in North Carolina. Seizing this opportunity, Alana enrolled in Duke's master's program in public policy, and the couple planned to move to the United States that fall. However, days before the move, an argument escalated into violence, and Mohammed physically assaulted Alana. The Ottawa Police Service conducted an investigation into an assault involving Alana and Mohammed. According to Detective Andy Singh of the Toronto Police Service, Alana reported that she had been assaulted by Mohammed and had sustained facial injuries. She stated that her lip was split as a result of a blow from her husband, and that he had threatened both her and their young child, who was only a few weeks old at the time. Terrified, she took their daughter and sought refuge with a friend. Unaware of her whereabouts, Mohammed called mutual friends until he eventually located her. After 3 days, he promised to stay with his parents if she returned home. Still fearful, Alana agreed but requested John Mark stay close for protection until her parents could arrive to stay with her. After the incident, Mohammed faced 3 criminal charges, 1 for assaulting Alana and 2 for making threats. In a bid to salvage his future, Mohammed sought to reconcile with Alana. On July 27, 2005, authorities agreed to drop the charges against Mohammed if he signed a peace bond, acknowledging that Alana had reasonable grounds to fear him and accepting a 12-month probation. With the charges dismissed, Mohammed was able to commence his PhD program at Duke and cross the border without issues. He relocated to Durham, North Carolina, and Alana and their daughter joined him a few months later. Friends and family struggled to comprehend why Alana returned to Mohammed, as she was intelligent, financially independent, and had steadfast support from her family. While some speculated that she was attracted to the status associated with her relationship with Mohammed, others believed she genuinely loved him and hoped their relationship would improve. Mohammed excelled in his program, completing his 5-year PhD in just 3.5 years. Despite his professional success, the issues within their marriage persisted, indicating deeper problems that a change in location could not resolve. Alana thrived at Duke University, earning a rare scholarship that covered most of her tuition and being recognized as the top student in her class. Mohammed, however, belittled her accomplishments, chipping away at her self-esteem. Each cutting remark left a lasting scar on her confidence. After classes, she would pick up Mohammed and their baby before preparing dinner, a routine she followed nearly every day. All the while, Alana hid the horrifying truth from her family and friends. In 2007, nearly 2 years later, Alana became pregnant again and gave birth to the couple's second daughter in November. The birth of their second child should have been a joyous occasion. Instead, it marked another chapter in her growing isolation. Friends of the couple observed an imbalance in their marriage. Alana was the one who drove Mohammed wherever he needed to go. When asked about it, Alana explained that Mohammed disliked driving. However, This imbalance extended beyond transportation, as Alana managed tasks from grocery shopping to assembling furniture and changing light bulbs. Despite her contributions, Alana often downplayed her own significance, frequently describing Mohammed as brilliant and feeling insignificant by comparison. Meanwhile, Mohammed's controlling behavior, once subtle, became overt. He started to dictate Alana's every move, frequently calling her when she was out, demanding to know her whereabouts and who she was with. In 2009, after completing their studies at Duke, the couple returned to Ottawa, Canada, and moved into a house near the hospital where they both began working. Alana quickly became a well-regarded family doctor, admired by her patients, while Mohammed advanced in his neurosurgery specialization and received an award for exceptional patient care. Around this time, the couple became active on social media, portraying themselves as a wealthy and happy family with beautiful children. However, close friends knew that Mohammed controlled Alana's accounts, even dictating which photos she could post. In 2011, Mohammed relocated to Calgary for a year to complete a spinal surgery fellowship. Shortly thereafter, Alana discovered he was having an affair after finding emails that confirmed the relationship and noticing a credit card charge for a hotel stay with his mistress. On Mother's Day, when confronted, Mohammed did not deny the infidelity. Devastated, Alana considered leaving him, encouraged by friends who believed she deserved better. However, she ultimately chose to stay. Alana seemed to yearn for his approval, believing she had invested too much in their life together, and hoped to prove her worthiness of his love. Mohammed promised to end the affair, and shortly after securing his dream job as a neurosurgeon at Toronto Western Hospital, the couple relocated to Toronto, purchasing a $1.5 million home in North York. Alana left her position in Ottawa and eventually secured a role at Earl Bale's clinic. Once settled, Mohammed proposed having another child, noting the empty room in their home and expressing his wish for a son. Alana agreed, hoping that a new baby would revive their strained marriage, and in October 2013, the couple welcomed a baby boy. For nearly 2 years after his birth, their relationship appeared to stabilize. In 2015, Alana left her clinic job to join Scarborough Hospital's family medicine unit and became a district delegate for the Ontario Medical Association. Although her career was thriving, Mohammed resented her success, reigniting tensions in their marriage. In March 2016, the family traveled to Vermont, stopping in Ottawa first to leave their youngest son with Mohammed's parents. That evening, Mohammed called Alana's parents, claiming she had severely cut her right palm and was undergoing surgery. Alana later offered conflicting explanations for her injury, including hitting a glass on the counter, cutting vegetables, and breaking a dish while washing. None of her stories seemed credible, and it became clear her wound was not accidentally caused in Vermont. Tensions heightened as the couple argued about Mohammed's affair in Calgary, during which he cruelly compared Alana to his former mistress, claiming the other woman was far superior. The argument escalated into violence when Mohammed attempted to strangle Alana. Later she confided in friends about the incident but refrained from reporting it, fearing how authorities might react to a man named Mohammed. A few months later, the couple celebrated their 12th wedding anniversary, which would ultimately be their last. Alana gave Mohammed a heartfelt card that read, "My dearest Mohammed, I love you with all my heart. 12 years, 3 kids, 4 cities, 2 countries, and a lifetime of memories. I can't wait for the next 50 years." However, the reality was far darker than her words suggested. By late 2016, Alana began discussing divorce. Panicked, Mohammed begged her to reconsider, and although she agreed to think it over, her suspicions about his involvement with another woman grew. When Alana shared her concerns with close friends, one jokingly suggested she find a lover herself. Surprisingly, Alana did just that, meeting another doctor who was also married with children. He treated her kindly and made her feel desired again. Alana later confided in a friend that it was the first time she had experienced true happiness since marrying Mohammed. Her lover encouraged her to leave Mohammed and imagine a life without him. Feeling empowered and realizing the gravity of her situation, Alana consulted a lawyer to initiate divorce proceedings and secure custody of her children. It was then she revealed a troubling secret. Mohammed had assaulted her violently back in October, and this was the final straw for Alana. She realized she needed to leave not only for herself, but also for the safety of her children. By late November, Alana officially filed for divorce. She had moved into the basement of their home, but Mohammed repeatedly moved her belongings back into the master bedroom. Mohammed tried to win her back by threatening to ruin her career, to use his influence to turn their children against her, and he reminded her of his wealth and power, implying that he would always find a way to control her. But she remained resolute. On November 24th, she sent an email to a friend apologizing for her recent absence, stating, "I'm in the process of separating from my husband, and things at home are chaotic. I'll try to catch up with you this weekend. I'll be away at a conference." Alana attended the conference that Friday, and throughout the weekend, Mohammed messaged her, pretending to be a supportive husband. Upon returning home Sunday night, Alana informed her close friend that she had served Mohammed with divorce papers. Then on Monday, her lawyer contacted him, emphasizing Alana's desire for an amicable and swift resolution, while requesting full financial disclosure. 2 days later, on December 1st, 2016, Alana's family made repeated attempts to contact her throughout the day, but were unsuccessful. Concerned, they reached out to Mohammed, who reluctantly stated that Alana had left the previous night with a suitcase and her new boyfriend. Knowing her daughter would never abandon her children, Alana's mother contacted Allison Kaufman, Alana's former boss and neighbor, asking her to check the house. Upon inspecting the garage, Allison noticed that Alana's car was still parked there. She informed Alana's parents, who then called the police and began an overnight drive from Windsor to Toronto. When officers arrived at the house, Mohammed reiterated his account of Alana leaving with a suitcase. Following standard procedure, they searched the residence for any evidence, but found nothing. The next day, a passerby discovered a woman's body concealed in a suitcase near the Humber River. The suitcase had Alana's name and address on it, and the victim was barefoot, dressed in pajamas, and exhibited severe head injuries. An autopsy revealed that she had been beaten and strangled. Anna was unable to recognize her daughter due to facial swelling and damage, but her father, Josip, tearfully confirmed her identity. The investigation quickly identified Mohammed Shamji as the sole suspect, leading to his arrest the following day at a cafe where undercover officers apprehended him at his table. Police uncovered that Alana had attempted to call 911 on the night of her murder, but was interrupted by Mohammed, who had stopped her after she only dialed 611. Police also discovered he had killed her while their 3 children were in the house. Their eldest daughter later recounted hearing her mother's screams from her room. Fearing an intruder, she cautiously approached her parents' bedroom and saw her father lying face down on the bed. Upon noticing her, he ordered her back to her room. The crime shocked Canada and garnered extensive media attention, as the seemingly perfect marriage of 2 accomplished doctors ended in unspeakable tragedy. Alana's funeral took place on December 17, 2016, at St. Francis of Assisi Church in Windsor, the same church where she had been baptized and married. The city mourned the loss of a brilliant doctor, a loving mother, a kind soul. Friends and colleagues struggled to reconcile the horrific crime with the man they thought they knew. While awaiting Mohammed's trial, Josip and Anna moved into their daughter's home to care for their grandchildren, ensuring they could remain in school during this difficult period. In May 2019, over 2 years after the crime, Mohammed Shamji, faced with overwhelming evidence, pleaded guilty as part of a plea deal with prosecutors, thereby avoiding a full trial. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 14 years. The case received significant media attention, and millions of Canadians followed the sentencing. Her children, robbed of their mother's love, were left to navigate a world forever altered by their father's actions. Alana's eldest daughter, her voice trembling with rage and grief, addressed the court. She spoke of her mother's strength, her kindness, and her unwavering love. She publicly expressed her hatred for her father and her doubts about ever forgiving him. Currently, Alana's children reside with their maternal grandparents in Windsor, openly discussing their mother while refusing to mention their father's name. Alana Fric's story is a stark reminder of the insidious nature of domestic violence. It knows no socio-economic boundaries. It hides in plain sight, often masked by charm and respectability. But the haunting question is, could Alana's death have been prevented? Her tragic death serves as a call to action, a plea to break the silence surrounding domestic abuse. We must believe survivors. We must hold abusers accountable. We must educate ourselves and our communities about the warning signs of domestic violence. Alana's legacy, forever intertwined with tragedy, must serve as a catalyst for change. Let us honor her memory by working towards a future where no one suffers in silence, where help is readily available, and where lives are not cut short by the violence of those who claim to love them. Please comment your thoughts on this tragic case of Dr. Alana Fric, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.